What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One set. What's up, everybody? Jim here, checking in from the One Set fam. How is everyone doing? It has been a week for sure. I hope everybody is thriving. My last weekend was a little weird. Just to drive into the dance thing a little bit. Admittedly, I have a difficult time making decisions. So creatively, I like to work under pressure. So I like to save the creative decisions until last absolute moment. So I was scheduled for work Sunday, and then I had saved Saturday evening to drive into my work. And then had to take our dog to the emergency vet. And so I felt really guilty about not being great about preparing ahead of time. But it's just how I work. It's just who I am. Me navigating my projects, I struggle really, really bad with preparing ahead of time. So I was at the vet late Saturday night and barely got any sleep, and then woke up and said, I have to generate material for rehearsals that Sunday. So that's what I did. Wasn't easy, but I watched back the content that I created in my mind and taught after watching it back, and I shouldn't be proud about my lack of preparation and my procrastination, right? But it still taught me something. Okay, so for the 3 routines, the 3 projects that I was working on, I was able to dial in and focus on those pieces because I was in a time crunch. I was limited to those moments. And I was really happy with the content that I produced. The one project that I was really self-conscious about, I've watched back a couple times over And yeah, I mean, we all second guess ourselves, right? But I watch that back and I remind myself that I can do this. And it's hard a lot of the time for us to remind ourselves that we can do this when we are so driven in a direction and we feel solid about a thing that we are committed to. I felt I felt drained physically when I left that rehearsal, right? I just wanted to talk about a dance thing because I'm going to talk about the Phillies and I'm going to talk about WWE. But I wanted to talk about myself real quick. Um, it was tough in that time. I had some stuff going on personally. Um, and I managed to get through that time. And that weekend was hard in itself. And there were tougher things that led beyond that. And I'm not going to talk about them just now. But we have to carry on. We have to pass on. And we have to look forward to um, things that hold us positive, things that keep us moving day to day. Um, I have missed Anthony being a part of this podcast because he and I, we just jump on and we click. Whether it's a for funsies thing, which we drive towards each other for that energy, you know? It's just not exactly been an easy week. So I'm sorry if you're catching long breaks in between my words. But we're pressing on because we have to. We have to. You know? We have to. And I am relying on the entertainment things that are distracting me from the real world that are carrying me through. You know? I am grateful and thankful I have a partner in my life that will help navigate me through when I'm feeling out of sorts. And we are fortunate to have those people in our lives. So make sure that you hug somebody strong It's important, right? I watched the Phillies today. I was looking forward to baseball just to see, you know, some level of comfort. And I mean, Ranger Suarez just was so strong today, performed at his best. I was like, wow. I think a lot of people will watch that and be like, wow, where were you in the regular season? Where were you in the postseason? And it's like, he performed strong in the postseason previously, but they can't live in the past. They can't just say, this is where I was. This is how good I was here and there. He's battling for the present. He's battling for, okay, what's up now? And I think about that too, a lot. With where I was, with where I am, with where I could be.
Dude, I've been getting this annoying itching feeling under my armpits from the deodorants I've been trying and using, and I can't seem to find something that works for me.
Have you ever tried maybe like a natural deodorant?
Natural deodorant? No. Are you insane?
No, but I am Wild.
Oh,
Wild is the UK's #1 natural deodorant company that focuses on performance, sustainability, and style.
Their mission is to clean up the bathrooms by leaving it free of ugly, single-use plastic bottles and unnecessary chemicals.
You know why Wild is great? Because it actually works and it's eco-friendly and contains over 98.5% natural ingredients.
They have a fully sustainable design with aluminum cases that last for a lifetime, plus biodegradable, recyclable refills. And you know what's cool? They can actually imprint your name on these aluminum cases for a small additional fee.
Wild is super convenient with flexible subscription options or paying as one-off purchases. And you can customize your order by choosing your case, color, and various scent combinations. I know I have the ocean mist, the fresh cotton and sea salt, and the orange and neroli flavors, and they all smell super great. And what's best about them is they don't just wear off immediately, and then all of a sudden you smell like BO.
Yeah, I've been rocking the sandalwood and patchouli scent right now. And again, great scent, lasts like throughout the day, that you're pretty much protected throughout the day. And I also was able to try the mint and aloe vera. Big aloe vera fan, right on point, long lasting, and you can look forward to these cases and scents in a limited edition every month.
Go Wild today with a special discount of 25% off your first order when you get the code OneSetPod at checkout. Go to wearewild.com and use the code OneSetPod at checkout and enjoy.
So it's careful calculating. So important, I think, for the morale of the team that they have a good start, especially after last season when Reese Hoskins blew out his knee. What happened? What happened after that? We lost Bryce Harper again, right? I think Rob Thompson is playing his cards right currently. He's not trying to come out the gate like, oh, look at us in preseason. He's not trying to come out the gate like, look at us starting strong. Baltimore Orioles started strong last season. What happened to them?
Have you ever wanted to start your podcast but didn't know where to start? The One Set Bros are here to talk to you about Zencaster. Zencaster is the ultimate base podcasting solution and now the all-in-one podcasting platform, making podcasting easy. They've sure made it easy for us to be able to record our podcast and our episodes every week for you guys. Once you've set up your account, you're simply one click away from recording a high-quality podcast with studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. My personal favorite feature is their multi-layered backups, which ensure our recordings are always in the highest quality, even during unstable web connections. And if you thought you needed multiple tools and services for your podcast, Zencaster's all-in-one podcasting platform allows you to create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to Zencaster.com/pricing and use our code OneSetPod, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experience as we do with all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
And this is why everyone's like, just get to the postseason. Just get to the postseason. But there is a system. There's a plan for that. Right? There's a plan for that. So I think right now, you can't say anything about the Phillies as much as I love seeing them on my TV screen again. Sitting there watching them, I'm like, let's go. I'm so excited to see the Phillies on the TV again. Already have tickets for April. Shine and I are going. It's going to be so fun. Let's talk about this thing. No more Dullar Dog Night. Dullar Dog Night? Cheyenne agrees. No more Dullar Dog Night. It's real bad. Save the Reynolds rat, right? There's no more Dullar Dog Night. I said there's no more Dullar Dog Night. Okay, thank you. Dollar Dog Night. Dollar. Cheyenne and I were there for the game that ruined R.I.P. Ruined Dollar Dog Night. Because we watched things fly in the air across. It was across the way from where we were sitting, right?
We could basically see it everywhere we look. There's Reynolds wrap flying everywhere.
Everywhere we looked, there was a Reynolds wrap just being thrown in the air. So, the petition is out there to revive Dollar Dog Night. The petition is out there, and for those of us that were present to witness,
we called it.
You called it.
This is the end.
You were like, this is the end of Dollar Dog Night. This is the end of Dollar Dog Night. They were throwing. And we saw, and yes, the Phillies were losing. And this is also just context of Philly fans being honestly not happy with the product, right? I'm not supporting the decision of the other fans that were throwing the dogs in the air, but we were sitting there like, is this really really happening right now?
No.
No one likes us. We don't care. And I think that Jason Kelsey saying that, I think has garnered the attitude of Philly fans, of Philly sports fans across all of the sports. And I'm not knocking him for it. I'm really not. Because if you listened to Jason Kelsey's retirement speech the other day, he told everybody, if you want to work for this city, you have to be good with the fans being the best fans and letting you know if you're doing a bad job. And I think that's the best thing, because yes, there's money involved. Of course, come play for Philadelphia, insert team. I don't care.
When you're talking about hydration, hydration is not only for people training for championships and marathons. We're talking about daily maintenance people. Jim, did you know that 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated?
I believe it, Anth. I mean, honestly, in my line of work, dealing with teaching children and also dancing with adults my age, younger and older, I can almost tell based off of how well people not just perform athletically, but how we carry ourselves and how we communicate back and forth, our facial gestures and just our energy alone. I can tell when somebody's sluggish and they're sleep deprived versus they're just sluggish because they're a dried up sponge because they are dehydrated, right?
Absolutely. And for people like me who are working the 9 to 5, and, for me gigging at night, proper hydration is definitely crucial to maintain function throughout the day and keeping yourself energized. And that's why proper functional hydration is essential. And who's going to give it to you? Liquid IV, because Liquid IV is the #1 powered hydration brand in America. Their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. I like to use it first thing in the morning. I've been doing a lot of workouts here and there, so I pop it in my water bottle first thing in the morning. Gives me a little boost of energy, what I need. And sometimes during the day when I'm doing that like 2 o'clock, rundown, I'll pop a little one. If not in the morning, it gives me a little bit of that energy that I need. With just one stick, you can hydrate real life 2 times faster than water alone, plus get essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes as the leading sports drink. And not only that, Liquid IV comes in 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydration routine exciting.
Yeah, Anth. I mean, for me personally, like my day to day, I'll wake up and pop a liquid IV just to get my day started and start off with proper hydration. And then I am like required to be physically active between the hours of like 2 or 3 p.m. until 9, 10, 11, sometimes midnight if I'm doing a backup gig. So I'll do another one maybe around noon, 1 p.m., and that'll keep me going throughout the day. And I just feel so much better. I don't even drink coffee on the regular like that because I don't need to pick me up unless if I'm like really just not sleeping much. And then I'm like, all right, get me that. I don't like to rely on caffeine unless I absolutely feel like I need it. Liquid IV does the trick for me. I don't know about you.
Again, one stick with Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficient than water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins with 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drinks, and it's made with quality ingredients, non-GMO, and free of gluten, dairy, and soy.
Liquid IV believes that equitable access to clean and abundant water is the foundation of a healthier world. They partner with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions that help communities protect both their water and their futures. To date, Liquid IV has donated over 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Yeah, man, real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use our code 1SETPOD. That's 1SETPOD and at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code 1SETPOD at liquidiv.com.
If you refuse the offer because you're afraid of the Philly sports fans, prepare to lose. Maybe that's the most Philly sports fan thing I've ever said. But if you want to come to Philadelphia and play for our team, you have to respect the fact that we are behind you 100%. If you are 100% ready to go to work 100%, because if you're not, the ramifications are Jason Kelsey was almost ready to be traded after his first year here. And now he is a Philadelphia sports legend, hero. Everyone's saying he is one of the Philadelphia's greatest of all time. And I don't disagree. Love the guy dearly. So obviously, a lot of good baseball discussion to be had in the next 6 months, and I'm looking forward to it. Right? The current temperature in the sports entertainment spectrum is the wrestling, which obviously Anthony and I talk about at length a lot. So, with that, just want to preface Anthony and I are not all elite wrestling fans, diehard fans. We know Sting just had his last match. We know the tag team titles are vacated. And we know Sting won his last match. And we know about the glass shattering spot that Darby Allin took, which I think is admirable for him. And at the same time, I feel like AEW was fighting for these just way out in left field spots to bring them attention because they need it. Because WWE doesn't need it. Right? Triple H just opened up a briefcase from YouTube that signified the 10 million followers. WWE is 1 out of 10 organizations, companies, profiles on YouTube that has that much following. And for AEW fans to be like, oh, AEW will be there in just a couple years. I'm like, yeah, but WWE has so much history behind it, driving into it. So when I'm watching Triple H open that briefcase online, I'm not like, oh look, more clout for Triple H. It's WWE as a company has been able to brand themselves in a fashion that's not, oh look, we're just social media popular. They know how to keep with the times. They know how to, I mean, it's a little biased because Anthony and I, back in 1998 and 99, when Stone Cold Steve Austin was the it guy, right? And after that, as we watched, we were dialed in, dialed out, dialed in, dialed out at certain times. So for WWE as a network, and sure, we could talk about the Vince McMahon scandal. We're not going to. Just not going to do it. Not now. The company itself. What Vince grew. Okay. What so many people believed in. And when I say so many people, we have to talk about The Undertaker, right? He was the it guy for so long. And now you have The Rock like in the mix with the Bloodline stuff. Which as a fan, I love The Rock coming back. But I actually think more importantly, I love how they're swinging the angle of everything right now, because Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble and going on to face Roman Reigns, I just thought was boring. To me, if Cody Rhodes was going to win the Rumble and beat Roman Reigns, he should have done it last year. I still stand strong on Roman Reigns is beating Hulk Hogan's record as strongly as they're pushing everything right now. Which, after watching SmackDown tonight, and so many people thought, hey, they should have opened the show with this. Hey, by the way, the network wants the audience to be attracted to maintain viewership beginning to end. And they did that. Okay. So me tuning in the last 15 minutes and watching how the segment unfolded between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns and The Rock, I thought it was just presented perfectly. You know, Roman Reigns came out with the Bloodline, entered the ring. The Rock came out alone because, yes, he is in a league of his own, even though he acknowledged his tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Chief. I heard you over there. The whole segment was just so super well done. Okay. I'm just gonna say the thing because this has just been weighing in on my mind for the last hour. For Roman Reigns to say, "Oh, you're gonna trust this cross dresser over here?" Number one, Seth Rollins gets to dress however he wants to dress, right? And beyond that, I think that line was designated or written in to generate heat. So for anyone to think, oh, that's not cool because of this other thing, I think it just did the job. It just made us dislike Roman Reigns and The Rock even more. Let us know in the comments if you disagree, if you think that's uncalled for, if they could have generated heat by going a different direction in the writing of the script. Let us know. I just I thought for Roman Reigns to stand there and let The Rock talk and let Cody talk and let Seth talk, and then he dropped that little line that was just going to generate so much more heat for them. I thought it was brilliant. It felt very much jeez, I can't say it felt very Vince McMahon generate heat tactic, but it felt very much like Vince McMahon wrote that. And I wonder if Dwayne signed off on that and was like, "Oh, this is gonna push the envelope," which is what it's supposed to do. Because if it stays too safe, why are we watching? Why are we tuning in? Right? The way Dwayne ended the segment, and Cheyenne fell asleep before I came down here to record this, and I had to show her because she is such a fan of Cody Rhodes. She is so about him finishing the story. I was like, you have to see this without making a big deal of it. When Cody slapped The Rock, it was so good. I saw someone write earlier, how do they do the tag title division dirty by letting it main event last year? And where are the tag titles now? We have a tag team match main eventing night one of WrestleMania. And yes, it has implications for the main event of night two. And I think it's being built great, honestly. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre co-main eventing night two, which is like what's out there right now. People are like, there's no co-main eventing. If you're paying attention, the Bloodline story runs into Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins is saying the Bloodline being taken out is important for the company as a whole. Right? This isn't WrestleMania 8. This isn't WrestleMania 13. This isn't Vince McMahon saying, oh, we have a co-main event. they're doing their due diligence. Wow. Their due diligence in making the stories important. And by the way, haven't talked about Io Sky and Bailey. It's because we don't care about it. Because we're not made to care about it. Right? They did this promo backstage interview thing with Bailey tonight, and I watched it and I was just like, this is so weak. And I actually feel bad for Bailey. Oh, man. Yeah. Because that story should be important, but they don't know how to make it important. And it's because Bailey, as a babyface, it doesn't sell tickets. It doesn't make money. It doesn't make merch. It doesn't do none of that. Bailey was her best during the COVID era. She was the biggest heel. She ran COVID WWE product easily. And I think they're trying to throw her a bone. She doesn't know how to be a face, a good person. She's trying in these interviews, and I feel for her. And I think that she just knows, like, no matter how much I try to be a good baby face here, they're investing all of their money in this Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley feud. And I get it. I know there's money in that match. I would not be. Let me retract that statement. They're going to have a hard time finding a spot for Bailey versus Io Sky as not just the opening match, but somewhere in the card on either night one or night two to make it feel important. And I don't think people are going to care about it. Looks like we're getting Logan Paul and Randy Orton for the US title, which I find a little interesting. Because if Randy Orton is just coming back off of this injury and just doing the job and losing to everybody, I'm not interested. I don't care. Because I'm just going to see any feud that Randy Orton is involved in. I'm going to say he's losing. And then I instantly don't care. Do I think Logan Paul is doing a great job with the United States Championship? Sure. Do I think he's helping promote WWE through social media because he's a social media guru? 100%. I understand the business aspect of it. Do I care about this LA Knight and AJ Styles match? No. No, I don't. It's sad because LA Knight was super over. And I think them putting him in the match with Roman in Saudi Arabia just killed his momentum entirely. Right? So then what do you do after him? After that? What do you do to him after that? Oh, let's shuffle him around to this. And guess what? We don't care anymore. I'm lost on LA Knight. what I'm really interested in is Gunther as the Intercontinental Champion. And I swear Big E is taking that belt off him. So for them to be doing this gauntlet match next week on Raw, on Monday, to determine a number one contender, if they do a multi-man match, after all of the build that they've been doing with the New Day, Xavier, Xavier Woods and why am I blanking on his name right now? Kofi Kingston. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston against Imperium. I think all of that buildup is supposed to be long-term storytelling to get us to Big E taking the Intercontinental belt off of Gunther. And I know everyone's like, oh, well, yeah, Gunther is headed towards the main event picture. Yeah, for what belt? The one that Cody's vying for? The one that Roman is not losing? Or the belt that Seth Rollins is holding? That Drew McIntyre is taking that belt off of Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And it's interesting, all things considered, because I think if the money match was, and it was 99% a done deal, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for that belt at WrestleMania, no way did I think that Seth Rollins was losing the belt to CM Punk. Right? So when we talk about everything shifting because of people getting injured, the plans, going to SummerSlam after WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre is taking that belt off of Seth Rollins, and I do believe that it's going to be in part because he's doing this tag match with Cody against Roman and The Rock on Saturday night of WrestleMania. That because he's beaten and battered up, and Drew's been saying, stop investing yourself in this. I'm warning you now. Look, this is the best angle that they've done for Drew McIntyre as far as a main event picture ever. Since he's been in WWE, he's getting that World Heavyweight title. CM Punk is coming back and challenging Drew. And guess what? Drew McIntyre is retaining. You know why? Because CM Punk does not need to win that title to secure himself as important. CM Punk is losing. Drew McIntyre is winning, and that will secure him as an important staple in the company. Okay? Three years ago, Triple H told some news avenue, we want to build a modern day feud that's comparable to The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Comparable to Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. Comparable to Stone Cold and insert whoever, because Stone Cold and a feud with... That was it. Okay? Years ago, Triple H tried to say Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns are the money feud in the long run. And we haven't seen it. Right? COVID was definitely a big part of that. Let's be serious. Okay? But if they can get Drew on a proper path like he is now, because I love what they're doing with Drew McIntyre. Hate to see him on TV, but love the heel work that he's doing now. Yeah. He's being a Mac and crier, right? He's being a Mac and crier, right? So they've made Drew McIntyre important. And they're using CM Punk to help elevate him. This is why it's so good. But watching that WrestleMania press conference in Las Vegas and knowing that we're building up Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Dwayne Johnson, that tag match was always happening. It was just a matter of how we got there. And they figured it out. And they made it make sense. And I am here for it. I knew they had to throw a stipulation into night one to make to make night two elevated. And they're doing that, right? Cody Rhodes slapping The Rock tonight, I was just like, oh, which is strange because I've not been the biggest Cody Rhodes, like, come on, like, champion, like, you're doing this. I still think Roman Reigns walks out of WrestleMania as a champion. Not because I want him to. I just think that they're trying to surpass Hogan's title reign. That being said, I think it's a matter of they're going to make Roman retaining, not him winning clean, but in a way to prolong storytelling after that, which I just talked about in the last episode. Triple H is a creative genius in that he understands what's making people tune in next week. Vince just did whatever he wanted, okay? Triple H is like, okay, well, all things considered, how can we coagulate this week's content into, instead of just posting on Twitter or posting on social media, oh, these are the matches coming out next week. I'm leaving SmackDown tonight saying, I gotta see what's happening next week. Haven't felt that way since I was a kid. They're doing something right. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Obviously, big things happening in AEW. They just signed Okada for a big money deal. We're getting Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson at Dynasty. And it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. And especially, like I said on the last podcast, there's so much content out there that we as consumers watching anything, we're looking for something to compel us to watch what's next or say what's going on next. Because WWE for 5 to 10 years, and when I say 5 to 10, I mean I've been watching pretty religiously since um, The Rock and John Cena at Mania 29, The Rock and John Cena. Oh, I'm sorry, The Rock and John Cena at Mania 28, and the rematch at 29. I paid attention to what drew to WrestleMania for 30 on to now for the last decade. But in the last few years, I've really watched, like, okay, I want to know if people think that this isn't worth your time watching. Why is this a waste? And there were certainly things that drew a lot of us diehard fans to that direction. But I am speaking on behalf of diehard fans that like any sports team that you might watch where they have a good year, they have a good few years, they drop off. And you watch them from the get-go, preseason into the season. Anthony and I talk about, the Sixers, talk about the Eagles. I know I like to talk about the Phillies a lot. Obviously, they're in preseason. But I'm speaking on behalf of diehard fans, and we know where they were some time ago versus where everything is now. And we can reflect on what was good in that time and what was absolute shit in that time, right? The way they're building to WrestleMania 40 is so good. So good. And I am happy to be along for the ride. What One Set fam, thank you for tuning in. As always, follow us on our social media. onesetpod@gmail.com. onesetpod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. YouTube.
YouTube.
Thanks, Cheyenne. YouTube. That's the one. Thank you all. And we will catch you on the next one.